This is Chris Medeos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE WrestleMania 38 Night 1 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's WrestleMania 38. Now, this is WrestleMania Saturday. The kickoff show was about, an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. So yeah, that went on the whole time. And then we kick off tonight's WrestleMania Night 1 with Bradley Gilbert. I think that's his name. The country star he was singing and all that, national anthem and all that stuff. And then we get to the match, the first match of the night. It was the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs in a tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And this match, it was a pretty good match. Now, the ring attire, the Usos ring attire, I really liked it. It looked pretty good. Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura had good ring attire as well. But yeah, this match was pretty good. It was it was good. Rick Boogs pretty much lift up Jey Uso at one point on his shoulders, and then Jimmy Uso jumped on his shoulders as well, pretty much on top of Jey Uso. So yeah, Rick Boogs had both of them up at the same time, but then he collapses because of his knee going off that injury and stuff. And then he tags in Shinsuke. Shinsuke comes in, he's fighting the Usos off for a little bit. And then at one point he gets hit with a super kick by, I think it was Jimmy Uso. I think it was, and then he tags in his brother, and his brother climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumping off with the Superfly Splash, or the Uso Splash, onto Shinsuke. He pins him. 1, 2. Shinsuke barely kicking out at 2. Shinsuke still has a fight in him, going at it with the Usos. But then then Jimmy Uso tags in Jey Uso at the ending, and Jey Uso was grabbing on Shinsuke's hair, so he wouldn't move, and then Shinsuke gets hit with another super kick by Jimmy Uso. And then Jay comes in, and then they hit their other tag team finish move, the Day 1 or D1, onto Shinsuke Nakamura, and then pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs tonight in a tag team match. Yeah, they have retained their WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. It was a good match. I don't know if it was probably the match that kicked off WrestleMania, but it did. So yeah, first match of the night now down in the books, and yeah, it was a pretty good one, not bad. And for that match, I'll give it 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, it was still a good match. It was pretty good. It was playing off the injury storyline with Rick Boogs and stuff being injured with his knee and all that, and it was great to see the Usos retain their tag team championships. So yeah, I wasn't big on this match at all, but it was still a good, pretty decent match between the two teams. So yeah, it was pretty good. But it looks like up next, they'll probably have the next match up next, which will be Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. I think that match will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on WrestleMania 38. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on WrestleMania 38, it was a one-on-one match. It was Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss at ringside. And it was a pretty good video package. WWE always does pretty good on their video packages, where it shows the whole feud between Happy Corbin and Drew McIntyre throughout the whole year so far, since the end of last year and all that. And I hope this is the last match that goes. I hope this is the end of their feud. So yeah, hopefully it is. But it was an okay match. I mean, this match was it was average. At one point, of course, we see Madcap Moss try to interfere. Him and Happy Corbin was getting into it because Madcap got on the ring apron. Corbin was telling him to move out of the way so he could bounce off the ropes pretty much. And Madcap was in the way, and Corbin kept on telling him to get his ass down and all that. And of course, a few times, Madcap was interfering, at one point, we seen Drew McIntyre jump over the top rope with a front flip onto Corbin and Madcap, taking them out, and then Madcap was trying to interfere, and then he gets hit with a belly-to-belly suplex outside the ring from McIntyre. McIntyre gets back in the ring, but then at one point, we seen Happy Corbin hit the End of Days onto Drew McIntyre. He pins McIntyre kicking out at 2, so yeah, Drew McIntyre is the first person the kick out of the End of Days. And Corbin, of course, couldn't believe it because nobody kicked out of it. He starts lifting up McIntyre, and then McIntyre was fighting back, hitting the Future Shock DDT onto Happy Corbin. And then he waited for Corbin to get back up, and then he hits the Claymore onto Corbin and then pins him for the 3 count. So, yeah, Drew McIntyre defeated Happy Corbin tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. And yeah, that's what happened. Happy Corbin's undefeated streak since becoming happy again has now ended. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after the match ended, we seen Madcap Moss getting on the ring apron, talking crap to Drew McIntyre. McIntyre gets the sword, Angela, and then it comes down with the sword, and Madcap jumps off the ring apron really quickly, and McIntyre hits the top rope and stuff, slicing the top and second rope. Slicing it through and all that. So yeah, pretty much cutting the ropes right there. So yep, that's what happened. Hopefully that's the end of this feud now between McIntyre and Mac and Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, and all that crap. So yeah, hopefully they'll just move on now. So yeah, but with the match and all that stuff, I'll just give it 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. So yeah, it was okay. But yeah, it looks like up next we're going to see the Mysterios versus The Miz and Logan Paul up next in a tag team match. So yeah, it looks like that match will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on WrestleMania 38 Night 1. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on WWE WrestleMania 38 Night 1, it was a tag team match. It was Rey Mysterio teaming up with his son, Dominic Mysterio. The Mysterios versus Logan Paul and The Miz in a tag team match. And yeah, Rey Mysterio and Dominic comes out. Nice ring attire with both of them. They was wearing some nice ass ring attire. And Miz comes out in like yellow tights, and his knee pads and all that was yellow. Logan Paul coming out with a nice attire as well with the the $1 million Pokemon card with Charizard and stuff. So yeah, he came out with that. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. Logan Paul looked a little bit stiff in this match, but for somebody being in the ring for the first time, he was pretty good. I mean, with him and Bad Bunny in the ring and stuff, just with celebrities alone, it's been pretty good. Not bad. But yeah, Logan Paul was doing good, hitting power slams, hitting a blockbuster at one point. But then at the ending of this match, we seen Logan pretty much hitting the Three Amigos onto Rey, and then climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumping off with the frog splash onto Rey, pins him 1, 2, and then Dominic kind of missed his cue a little bit. He was supposed to break up the pin. Well, he came in there, but he was like, he didn't break it up in time, and Rey kind of kicked out of it. So yeah, it was whatever, and then they go at it, brawling and stuff. Dominic chasing after Logan, and then Logan gets back in the ring, running into Rey hitting a Hurricanrana onto him, knocking him onto the second rope, and then Dominic and Rey hits the double 619 onto Logan. Dominic climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off for a frog splash onto him, and then Rey goes up behind him as well, hits the frog splash onto Logan. Miz quickly comes into the ring, picking up Dominic while Rey was pinning Logan pretty much, or trying to pin him. And he picked up Dominic and slammed some Rey onto Rey Mysterio, kind of right on his head, pretty much. And then Miz quickly lifts up Rey and hits the Skull Crusher finale onto him, and then pins him 1, 2, 3. It was all over there. So yeah, the Miz and Logan Paul defeated the Mysterios tonight in a tag team match. And then after the match ended, Miz and Logan was celebrating. Miz holding Logan's hand up and everything. And then he looks at Logan while Logan wasn't looking, and then hits the Skull Crusher finale onto Logan Paul in the ring. And of course the fans was going crazy cheering for the Miz for doing that, because they straight up hated Logan Paul during this whole match. They was booing the hell out of him. So yeah, Logan he had some good heat on him, and everybody started cheering the hell out of the Miz after he laid out Logan Paul. So yeah, that's what happened there. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to do a feud between Logan and Miz now, or we're going to see. So yeah, we'll see about that later on. So yeah, for that match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. Logan Paul doing pretty good. He looked a little bit stiff in the ring, but still, for a celebrity and being in ring for the first time and all that, he was doing pretty damn good. Gotta give him props right there. So yeah, up next we're going to see Stephanie McMahon talking on the mic up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on WrestleMania 38. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on WrestleMania 38, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that match, I gotta talk about Stephanie McMahon. How she came out, introducing Gable Stevenson. So yeah, it was just a standing ovation for him. Pretty much just bringing him up to the stage, and that was it. So yeah. And then we get to the match. It was the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. And Becky Lynch's entrance was pretty good. Pretty much it was like based, pretty much, I want to say was based off of when WWE first comes on with their signature, pretty much the then now forever type of thing. It was like kind of like the same thing almost, but just a bunch of images of Becky Lynch and all that. So yeah, it was pretty cool, and pretty much popped into like the sunglasses of Big Time Bex and all that stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty cool entrance. And she came out with some with a good looking attire on, and her hair where it got cut and stuff. It was kind of like shorted a little bit, but not much, kind of. And then Bianca Belair came out with her, but she had a good entrance as well, where she had the when she had marching band doing her entrance and all that from Texas University or whatever. So yeah, they was doing her entrance, and she came out in good ring gear and all that. It was a nice ring gear actually. And then we finally get the match underway, and immediately, right when the match starts, the fans is going crazy and all that. And then Bianca was trying to shake Becky Lynch's hand, and Becky Lynch pretty much not doing that. She was trying to hit that manhandle slam onto Bianca. Bianca fought out of it. And then Bianca was trying to hit the KOD onto Becky Lynch. And this is like seconds within, like right into the match too. So yeah, she was trying to hit the KOD. Becky Lynch, when she flipped, she landed on her feet, and then she hits the manhandle slam onto Bianca. It looked like it was going to be over within seconds, just like SummerSlam. She pins her 1, 2, Bianca barely kicking out at 2. And this match was really good. They was both going at it a lot in this match. There was one moment where Becky kind of she did botch the move. She climbed up the top turnbuckle and jumped off, trying to hit like a front flip senton pretty much, where she does the flip and, hits a senton onto Bianca. But she she didn't went out far enough. And it was kind of like she done like a front flip drop kick pretty much to Bianca. So it was still like effective and all that, but that's what happened. And there was one point when Becky actually climbed up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a moonsault at one point too, and Bianca moved out the way and all that. But then at the ending of this match, they was going at it outside the ring, and Becky Lynch hits the manhandle slam onto Bianca on the steel steps, and Becky gets back in the ring, waiting for Bianca to get counted out. Bianca makes it back into the ring by the count of 9. And they kept on going at it and everything. And then Becky was trying to manhandle slam again onto Bianca, but Bianca pretty much kicking off the top turnbuckle and all that, pretty much because it was like close by the turnbuckles, and she was trying to hit it, and Bianca kind of like jumped off the second turnbuckle and landed on her feet, like doing a backflip and landed on her feet. And then Becky comes up, runs to her. Bianca grabs her, lifts her up, and then hits the KOD onto Becky Lynch, and then pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it was a really good match. Becky Lynch lost against Bianca Belair. So yeah, Bianca Belair won, and she is the new Raw Women's Champion. That's what happened. Pretty good match between those two. So yeah, with the whole match and everything, even though there was a botch at one point and all that, I was still giving 4.5 stars. It was a really good match between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Like it was going to be over within seconds, just like SummerSlam, but we kind of figured out was it going to happen, and it was a really good match between Becky and Bianca. Probably their best match yet, in my opinion. I think so, at least. So yeah, that match I'll give it 4.5 stars. But yeah, still to come later on tonight on WrestleMania Night 1. There's still a few more things like Kevin Owens hosting the KO show with Stone Cold Steve Austin later on tonight. And we still got Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship later on tonight. But up next, it looks like Seth Rollins will be facing against the mystery opponent up next. So yeah, maybe Cody Rhodes. We'll see. That'll be happening up next. So yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing happens on WrestleMania 38 Night 1. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on WWE WrestleMania 38 Night 1. It was a one-on-one match. It was Seth Rollins versus a mystery opponent. An opponent that is by Vince's choice, pretty much. And so let's talk about it. So Seth Rollins comes out, good entrance and all that. Great entrance from Rollins. The ring gear looking good on Seth Rollins and all that. He comes out like in robe and all that stuff. Pretty cool. And then he's standing in the ring, waiting for his opponent, saying, come on out, and everything. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of pyro starts going off and stuff. It scared the hell out of Seth Rollins. It looked like that was pretty funny. And then the music hits, and it was Cody Rhodes. So yeah, Cody Rhodes made his return back to the WWE. He's been gone for 6 years, and no, he is not Stardust. So yeah, Stardust character did not come back. Cody Rhodes, 100%. The same Cody Rhodes from AEW. He came out with his AEW theme song, the American Nightmare theme song, and yeah, they was calling him the American Nightmare throughout the whole entire match. He was going by Cody Rhodes. He had the blonde hair and all that. Instead of coming back with the black hair, he came out with the blonde hair. He had his attire, the tights and all that. So yeah, it's the same Cody Rhodes from AEW. So yeah, it was great to see him come out. And if he was not Seth Rollins' opponent, I think if it was anybody else, pretty much like Shane McMahon or whoever, they would have got booed out the building. I think, I seriously think that would have happened. So yeah, it was great to see Cody Rhodes come back to WWE. It's been 6 years, I think they said, since 2016. So yeah, it's been that long since he's been in a WWE ring. So he comes out, and it was Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes 1-on-1. It was a damn good match. If you have yet, go check out this match because it was really good. Both of them going at it. Slow start into the match. Cody Rhodes going after Seth Rollins' arm, and Rollins going after Cody's ribs and all that. It was a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, the match was really good. Seth Rollins at one point kicked out of the Crossroads, and he kicked out of the Cody Cutter at one point. Rollins tried to hit the curb stomp multiple times in this match at one point. Seth Rollins tried to hit the pedigree onto Cody Rhodes, and then Cody Rhodes fought out of it, and then it looked like Cody was going to hit the pedigree on Rollins, and the fans was going crazy because you already know about that. And then instead of Rhodes hitting the pedigree, he lifted him up and hit a power bomb onto Seth Rollins. And then Rollins got back up, and then he eventually hits the pedigree onto Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes kicked out of 2. And then it looked like we get to the end of the match. It looked like Seth Rollins is going to finish Cody Rhodes. He hits a discus forearm onto Cody Rhodes. And then he turns around, hits the forearm to the back of the head on the Rhodes. Rhodes drops down. And then Seth Rollins was going to hit this curb stomp on the Rhodes. But as soon as he was about to take off running to the ropes, Rhodes grabbed him by the tights, and then he hits the Crossroads once, and then he lifted him right back up immediately, hits a second Crossroads onto Seth Rollins, and then lifts him right back up, and like he was about to hit the third one, the third one in a row, but it'll be the fourth one into the match. And instead of that, he lets Seth Rollins go, and then he starts decking him right in the face. And of course, it was a moment, him paying tribute pretty much to his dad, Dusty Rhodes, and he hits the bionic elbow onto Seth Rollins, the stunned Rollins, of course, and then Cody Rhodes hits the 4th crossroads onto Seth Rollins in this match, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Cody Rhodes defeated Seth Rollins tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. Great match. It was a great way to bring Cody Rhodes back to the WWE. Everything about this was great. With the match and him returning and everything, it's 5 stars. I gotta give it 5 stars. So yeah, all that stuff. It was really, really great. So yeah, WrestleMania Night 1 so far been pretty good so far. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes match of the night, and I mean we still got one more match, whatever, later on tonight. But yeah, this match it was really, really good. So yeah, and after that we had the everybody getting introduced from the Hall of Fame, the class of 2022 Hall of Fame. You know, The Undertaker, the Steiner brothers, Scott and Rick, Queen Sharmell, Vader, and Shad Gaspard. So yeah, the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2022 was getting introduced. So yeah, it was great to see all of them on the stage as well. So yeah, they got introduced. But still to come later on tonight, we'll still see the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair defending her title against Ronda Rousey 1-on-1. So yeah, that'll be later on tonight. And still to come later on tonight on WrestleMania 38, we will see Kevin Owens hosting the KO show with a special guest, Stone Cold Steve Austin, later on tonight on WrestleMania. So yeah, like I said, WrestleMania 38 Night 1 has been pretty good. Earlier it was whatever, but then of course it gotten better. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on WWE WrestleMania 38 Night 1. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on WrestleMania 38, it was a one-on-one match. It was the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey in a one-on-one match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and it was okay. There was one move that got botched bad. Not botched to the sense of like she hurt Ronda Rousey at all, but Charlotte, she needs to stop doing this move. It's what Andrade does all the time, where she will hit the moonsault off the top turnbuckle. The opponent moves, she lands on her feet, and then goes for that second moonsault. It looks shitty. It was terrible. Every time when she does it, it looks terrible. So yeah, she needs to stop doing that move. I mean, she keeps on botching every single time. But yeah, this match, it was alright. At one point, we seen Ronda Rousey hit Piper's Pit on her. She pins her 1, 2, 3, but then the referee instantly, as soon as he hit his hand for the 3 count, he instantly seen Charlotte's foot on the rope and called it off after that. So yeah, she got rope breaking. Then Charlotte and Ronda was going at it more. Charlotte Flair locked on the figure 8 at one point, trying to make her tap out, and she fought out of it. But yeah, after and I forgot to mention, after she hit the Piper's Pin, she had her foot on the rope and all that. Ronda Rousey was complaining to the referee, and then Charlotte quickly used that distraction to hit the natural selection onto Ronda Rousey, pins her 1, 2, and then she barely kicking out 2. And then, of course, she tried to lock on a figure 8 once again in this match, and Ronda Rousey kicks her off of her, and she ran and pretty much accidentally speared, the referee, laying him out. And Ronda Rousey then grabs Charlotte Flair, puts her in that armbar, making Charlotte tap out. But, of course, the referee was knocked out and all that. And then Ronda Rousey was picking up the referee, trying to get him up and all that. And then Charlotte comes out of nowhere, hits the big boot onto Ronda Rousey, and then pins her for the 3 count. So, yeah, Charlotte Flair defeated Ronda Rousey tonight and has retained the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. So, yeah, that's what happened. It was an okay match. I'll give that match 3 stars. But, yeah, nothing really special for that match. But, yeah, that's what happened. But still to come later on tonight on WrestleMania, we will see Kevin Owens hosting the KO show with a special guest, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Still to come later on tonight on WrestleMania. So, yeah, WrestleMania Night 1 has been okay, but we'll talk about that later on. Night 2 will probably be, it'll be pretty good, I bet, because a lot more stuff is going to be happening on Night 2. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on WrestleMania 38. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on WrestleMania 38, we actually got a match. Yeah. So Kevin Owens came out and he was hosting the KO show, and of course, before he introduced Stone Cold Steve Austin, he starts talking crap about Texas and all that. Starts talking crap about Stone Cold, and then the fans was chanting, "We want Stone Cold" and all that. And Kevin Owens looks at the fans and goes like, "I'm not going to introduce him until I feel like it," and all that. So yeah. And then Stone Cold's theme song hits. He comes out, about to walk down the ramp, but then he goes backstage, grabs his four-wheeler, comes on down, and then of course he starts destroying the KO set and all that. And then Kevin Owens tells him to calm down and sit down in the chair so they could talk. And then Stone Cold's like, "I've been here and you've been talking a lot of crap about me and all that." And then Kevin Owens like, "You know what? Yeah, I haven't came here to actually talk to you, Stone Cold. I actually came here to have a fight with you." And then he looked at Stone Cold and he was like, "I challenge you in a no-holds-barred match." And then Stone Cold was listening to the fans. And of course, every fan was chanting, wanting that match to happen. And Stone Cold was like, "Well, I had my first match down here in Dallas. Might as well have my last match down here in Dallas. Bring me a ref." And then the ref comes down and it was a no-holds-barred match. Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it was crazy to see Stone Cold wrestling again in 2022. So yeah, they had their match and it was pretty good. I mean, of course, you ain't gonna be expecting the type of caliber match with Stone Cold after like almost 20 years and all those injuries with his neck and his knees and all that. So yeah, of course, he wasn't gonna be expecting that, but it was something. Both of them was going at it. Stone Cold got hit with a suplex outside the ring, going through the crowd and all that. Kevin Owens went through a table. We seen Kevin Owens get slammed onto the announce table, getting beat down. Stone Cold grabbing beers and drinking it all throughout the match. They get on the four-wheeler at one point, going up the ramp and coming back down to the ring. And then Kevin Owens hits a stunner at one point on the Stone Cold, pins him. Stone Cold barely kicking out too. And then Kevin Owens grabs the steel chair, tries to hit Stone Cold with it. Stone Cold moves. Owens accidentally hit the top rope and came back and smacked him right in the face. And then Stone Cold then hit the stunner onto Kevin Owens and then pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Kevin Owens tonight in a no-holds-barred match. And then after the match ended, of course, Stone Cold grabs some beer, starts drinking, and then he hits a stunner again onto Kevin Owens and kicks him out the ring. And then we seen like the cops down there from Texas, and they started taking Kevin Owens to the back. And then Byron Saxton gets in the ring. Stone Cold starts drinking with him. And then he hits a stunner on Byron Saxton, laying him out as well. And then his brother came in there and started celebrating with him as well. So yeah, pretty good stuff. With Stone Cold being in the ring, even though it wasn't like the best match, because it's been almost 20 years of stuff since his last match and all that. I'll give it all 3 stars. That's why I'll give it pretty good stuff. So yeah, it was pretty good. If you have it, go check out Night 1 of WrestleMania. It was an okay show. It has its ups and downs, of course. Match of the night, I would say Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So yeah, all throughout. It was great to see Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the ring one more time in 2022. Is he going to have another match? I really doubt it, but it was just great to see him just have one more match, just for nostalgia, pretty much. See him beat up Kevin Owens and stuff. I mean, Kevin Owens is just the perfect person to beat up, I guess. But yeah, even though a lot of people's going to be complaining and talking about, "Oh my God, Kevin Owens just jobbed out to Stone Cold." I mean, look, it's just for fun and all that. So it ain't that much of a big deal. Kevin Owens will be perfectly fine by the time Monday Night Raw comes back around next Monday. So yeah, he'll be perfectly fine. The women's championship match, Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. Didn't care for that match because it was a few botches. It was pretty boring and all that. Match of the night, of course, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. It was great to see Rhodes coming back, returning to the WWE after so many years. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair had a great match as well. If you have it, go check out that one. Happy Corbin, Drew McIntyre, it was an alright match. And same for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. It was okay as well. But yeah, night 1 of WrestleMania as a whole, out of 10, I'll give night 1 of WrestleMania I'll just give it 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. Like I said, the matches to go check out: Rollins and Rhodes, and Lynch and Belair. And if you want to, go check out Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. It was just an entertaining match. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the Mysterios versus Logan Paul and Miz was pretty good as well. So yeah, go check out that one if you want to as well. Logan Paul he done better than what I thought he was. But yeah, night 1 of WrestleMania is in the books. Like I said, I give this whole night 1 of WrestleMania 7.5 stars, but it was still pretty entertaining. A little bit whatever, pretty much in the beginning, and then they got good in the middle. Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, I didn't care for that match, and then, they didn't mash well together, in my opinion. And Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, it was just pretty entertaining. So yeah, like I said, if you have it, go check it out. And yeah, tomorrow night, WrestleMania Night 2 will be happening tomorrow night. A lot of matches. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And yeah, much more. So yeah, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's WrestleMania 38 Night 2. See you guys later until then.